Episode 7, Sonic Racer. So is this an episode where something races Sonic? We see it raining in Robotropolis again, and Sonic tells Sally and Bunny the coast is clear as they sneak around. Sally puts on a stethoscope, which somehow tells her that something's carrying electricity. Must be an invention of rotors. They find the main generator plant, and Sonic says he'll handle the robots. I'm glad Sally showed faith in Sonic. Why the fuck don't the SWATbots instantly try to attack Sonic instead of just standing there and listening to his taunts like idiots? That's always stupid in an action series. He then shines a spotlight at them to make them destroy it with their lasers. Bunny punches her way through a place since it's locked, and Sonic turns a wheel to send some water at the robots. Why was it even there? Sally shuts down the alarm system with some scissors, and Bunny uses super strength to tear off something from the wall so that Sally can overload a computer by typing random things in it, because that makes sense. And then it starts short-circuiting. Why, oh why, couldn't she have had Nicole with her? That would have made this make way more sense. I guess in SatAm, Rotor taught Sally everything he knows about programming so she knows what to do here. But even then, how could typing in a computer make it explode? After some filler where Snively talks to Robotnik about the main generator's malfunction and their lights go out, Sonic runs the girls out of the place. Bunny brags about Robotnik not having electricity, and Sally figures out there should be a backup generator for the city, which there is. Just as I was thinking about how ultimately pointless the Freedom Fighters' missions are every episode too. It's okay to have long-term victories for the heroes, guys. Snively says they should appeal to Sonic's ego with the race. Sonic is sent a letter about a speed contest. Wait, was it literally sent to him? And the other heroes? Does he know we're not holes now, or did Robotnik send the papers to the Great Forest? Fortunately, after Sally disrespects Sonic for wanting to race, he explains that he'll be a diversion for Sally when she's going to destroy the backup generator. Good. After we see Robotnik playing with a fast robot, and I cringe at seeing Tails being read a bedtime story like it's a stupid little kid with no real worth again, Sally says that she's worried about Sonic. Tails says it's actually a cool race and shows faith in Sonic, contrasting with Sally. At least Sally kisses Tails, which makes this feel worth it as a nice downtime, but ultimately it was just a filler scene where Sally reminds us of how little faith she has in someone who can run at over 600 miles per hour. The heroes sneak around Robotropolis, avoiding a flying camera that conveniently creates a spotlight to indicate its line of sight, though that would make sense if it was just really dark and it had to. Some time is completely wasted by several seconds of Antoine cowering, making annoying noises. Why couldn't this version of Antoine have been put into a coma? Although that even happening at all was pretty stupid in context. Sonic, who's wearing a red cloak for some reason, sees that the thing he's supposed to race is a giant yellow robot dog. At least he says that's a little better, so he's letting up his annoying bravado a little bit. Robotnik lampshades him, feeling the need to disguise himself by calling him shy, and Sally says that the race is about to start. So what's keeping Sonic from starting the race before Snively's countdown? I even heard a noise that made me think he did 2 seconds early. The robots actually speed ahead of Sonic. Robotnik and Snively predictably have some surprises for Sonic. Some laser grid shows up, and Sonic jumps over it fast enough. That was their idea of a nasty surprise? That was pathetic. Even the peace and quiet makes Antoine sweaty. Cause tension. Bunny teases him and says that he's a little muffin. Odd, she hated him in the pilot for being useless. Which dynamic do they want? The comic one, or the one that makes sense? Sally uses Nicole to access a map where they see the backup generator in the building. Then she lampshades how they can get past the guards without Sonic. You know you have a badass cyborg with you, right? Just have her wail on all the robots. Although since this show seems insistent on pretending that none of the heroes can even make a dent in the robots around them, I guess that would be too simple. I like this show, by the way. At least the robots being an actual threat is more interesting than IDW, where it's just about destroying robots over and over and over. Antoine makes some annoying noises, irritating Bunny and Sally as he seems to try to think of a plan, but of course he couldn't. Because he couldn't even be useful in this show in making the plan sense if he's not physical. I would have been impressed if he did. Instead, it was just a waste of time. I don't like that Bunny seems to talk like Ned Flanders briefly. And when she says tick me off, it should be obvious to Antoine from the context what she meant. After all that filler, Sonic is grabbed by a crane in a muddy lake and moves his legs fast enough to break free of it. Wait, what about his legs moving would make the crane decide to let go of his neck? Snively makes an excuse that it was a technical problem in the computer, and he's sweating and nervous about Robotnik's irritation with him. How did he last this long? I guess Robotnik deep down thinks he needs Snively because otherwise he just roboticized him. Antoine slides down a narrow pipe by accident, Bunny tears down a window above the backup generator, and then Sonic catches up with the yellow robot. Snively presses a button and the robot picks up Sonic with a crane and throws him up in the air. Sonic then grabs onto a convenient horizontal bar that was sticking out of a building for no reason, and swings around it to convincingly avoid a rough landing. Then he uses a ring to start boosting. Wait, why didn't he use that in the first place? I guess he was too proud to use it unless necessary, but this whole episode shouldn't have logically, he should have won the race instantly if he used this. He was being a distraction, so I guess if he won the race instantly, he would be a pretty poor distraction for Eggman. Antoine kisses Sally's hand and volunteers to be helpful, trying to impress her. Then he falls onto a conveyor belt, somehow managing to get himself in danger of being killed. Wait, can she not extend her robot arm in this series? Because I was expecting her to do that to save him when she reached her arm out. Why wouldn't Rotor be able to make her arm do that? Why didn't he do that already? Honestly, I wish that Antoine would be killed off here. He annoys me every time he speaks, and that shows what a bad character he is. Sonic throws a ring into the grinders to make them melt, and Antoine at least has the courtesy to thank Sonic for saving his life right away. Twice, in fact. Sally, take note! I've noticed that aside from showing jealousy of him in the pilot, Antoine's never been rude to Sonic so far, just an annoying coward, which is arguably worse. I'd rather have him be a rival to Sonic than be useless. Sally then makes a speech around a campfire that they've taken a giant step in freeing the world from Robotnik because they destroyed his backup generator that will be back next episode. Never mind the fact that Robotnik can just make more generators. As fun as it is watching the heroes fight Eggman and Sonic, the whole foundations of all these franchises falls apart because logically, the heroes should have just sent bombs after Eggman and just kept doing that over and over again until they won. Rotor would be fully capable of making them, but oh no, I guess the heroes are too self-righteous to risk the bombs killing someone as evil as Robotnik, or the innocent Robians in the city. So at least in Other M, we got to see some realistic freedom fighters because they did behave like that. But they weren't fighting someone who's roboticizing people and trying to pollute everywhere. They just targeted innocent people accomplishing nothing. But still, you think they would have... Well, I guess Knuckles didn't have a mail address where anybody could mail him stuff, because then someone would just check his mailbox for a bomb and the plot would be foiled. Maybe they must have tried that and it didn't work. Anyways, this episode was about the heroes taking out the generators for Robotnik City, while Sonic distracts Robotnik by engaging in a race with his machines, where he's conveniently saved from every trap somehow. At least the title of the episode actually indicated what's going to happen at this time. I don't know how Sally managed to make a computer explode just by typing in it, though, without Nicole around. Anyways, since this is only the 7th episode and it's not the 2nd season, I don't have any faith that the show will have genuine consequences for Robotnik losing his generators that will last very long. I'm sure they'll just forget all about it. And the reason I'm saying this so cynically is because I forgot all about the magical secret scrolls the heroes got, which I thought would be really important. The episodes are fun to watch on their own, the action gets me invested, but the show could be so much more if they bothered to have continuity and have actual consequences leading to other episodes, so that what happens in one episode will actually matter in the later ones. Snively gets in trouble with Robotnik, but that's not going to lead to him getting injured for his failure or anything. We'll never see him get punished with, I don't know, a spanking machine. He won't be roboticized because that would ruin his design, even though I see no reason why he can't make robots look exactly like people all the time, like with the Sally Infiltrator, which would have made the Robians not look off-putting. And I'm sure Robotnik will be back to having electricity next episode, or the one after that. why dedicate an episode to having a major victory for the heroes if it's going to be forgotten about 2 seconds later? That feels patronizing, like I'm being treated like a goldfish. I don't feel like a series with this kind of premise works with negative continuity. It made a good plot, but this isn't the kind of thing that should be ignored later. It's tantamount to all of Robotropolis being destroyed with a magnet, and the next story is perfectly intact, like in the comic. What are they even fighting for if they won't really accomplish anything?